Hey everyone! Welcome to The Young and the Restless. I'm Jane, and I'm so excited to have you here. If you love Young and the Restless, then you're in the right place. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Alright, let's dive right in. Nick discovers murder weapon in his own sleeping car. The Young and the Restless recap for Wednesday, July 16th says that Nick Newman will discover the murder weapon in his own sleeping car and fume over the setup, so here's what YNR viewers should expect. Chance Chancellor will discuss conducting a preliminary investigation as they wait for the groundskeepers who were dispatched down the mountain to report the crime. Although Chance will not have authority in Nice, Kane Ashby will highlight his vital abilities and trustworthiness. Chance intends to interview everyone about their whereabouts this evening individually, so Devin Winters will assume they are all suspects. Chance, on the other hand, will act as if he is only investigating what occurred. Abby Winters will sneer at Kane's hasty legal action against Amanda Sinclair. Amanda will claim that Kane is still in danger since he believes he was the intended victim rather than Damian Kane. Lily Winters, on the other hand, will point out that Kane had a reason to kill Damian after discovering they were a relationship tonight. Kane will understand why Lily believes so, but he will maintain his innocence. Chance will secretly question Phyllis Summers about what happened, and she will admit to witnessing a stabbed Damian in Kane's arms before Kane lowered him to the ground. Although Phyllis did not see who threw the blade, she will support Kane's innocence. Chance will wonder if Phyllis is covering for Kane to safeguard her new employment opportunity, but she will dismiss that notion. Phyllis will also state that she stayed with Kane the entire time after they left the body to find Chance. Chance was with Kane at all times after that, thus he could not have hidden the dagger and bourbon bottle. Meanwhile, Kane will have a private chat with Amanda, who will press him to come clean and reveal he was involved in Damian's death. Kane will be shocked that Amanda is thinking the worst of him, but she will insist that she is not thinking anything and is simply doing what a good lawyer should. After Amanda points out Kane's dire situation, she will point out that he lied to Chance about not having a way to call for aid. Kane will insist that Chance investigate, not some random local cop who would botch the case. Amanda will continue to look at Kane as if he has something to hide, thus Kane will become irritated and ask if she believes he killed Damian. They'll all sit in a train car together, trying to comprehend the events of the evening. Lily will be worried about how they will break the news to Amy Lewis and Nate Hastings. Lily will explore the notion that her children's father is a killer and will wonder how Kane became such a monster. Devin suggests that there was more going on, that Damian was blackmailing Kane, but Lily defends Damian as an innocent victim in all of this. Nick will then find Sharon Newman in her own sleeping automobile and brief her on Damian's dire destiny. Sharon will be stunned by the news and concerned that Phyllis would be subjected to further trauma. Nick will ultimately realize Kane may point the finger and divert attention away from himself. That leads Nick to believe that Kane might blame Victor Newman. Later, Nick will barge into the rail car where Chance and Phyllis are finishing off their chat. When Nick displays the bloody blade in a transparent bag, he will tell that he discovered it in the restroom of his sleeping car. "Someone is setting me up," Nick will declare, scowling. According to The Young and the Restless spoilers, Chance will continue to try to work through this confusing case, so stay tuned. The Young and the Restless spoilers indicate that a murder mystery storyline is currently unfolding, as Damian Kane was stabbed in the back on the Monday, July 14th episode, so might Amanda Sinclair be the culprit? YNR fans learned a few weeks ago that Kane Ashby had invited Chance Chancellor to his huge summer party in Nice because he wanted him to investigate someone targeting him. Chance stood out like a sore thumb among Genoa City's elite at the party, but when Kane revealed that he was frightened that someone was attempting to take his life, Chance decided to help. Even yet, Chance was taken aback during the Tuesday, July 15th episode when he learned Kane was going to accept his offer. Damian died when he and Kane drank tainted bourbon while talking somewhere in the maze. Both were wobbly, but Damian was worse off because he had consumed far more alcohol than Kane. As Damian collapsed into Kane's arms, someone unknown stabbed a knife in Damian's back, thereby killing him with one rapid throw.
Kane was utterly taken off guard by the flawlessly organized ambush, and Phyllis Summers was in the wrong place at the wrong moment when she turned the corner and discovered Damian, motionless, in Kane's arms. Phyllis was shocked by the scene she came across and questioned Kane's motivations. Amanda sauntered across the maze to the bar, in need of a heavy drink. She ran into Lily Winters, and the two had an interesting talk. Amanda became skeptical during the July 15th episode when she mentioned how much Kane still loved Lily and how she helped him arrange every party detail with Lily in mind. To be honest, Amanda seemed angry of Lily and her shenanigans. After all, Lily put her new relationship with Damian in Kane's face, and some YNR fans believe Amanda has emotions for her boss that go beyond client-attorney. In addition, she appears to be more than Kane's lawyer. In many ways, she is his confidant. Could Amanda harbor unresolved love for the millionaire mogul? She clearly understands that Kane is still in love with Lily, but many people fall in love with the wrong person. After all, the heart desires anything it wants. That being said, Amanda hasn't been on canvas in a long time, and a lot can happen to drive soapy characters crazy. Fans were surprised to hear Amanda was working with Aristotle Dumas in the first place, so who's to say she didn't experience a trauma that turned her into a sociopath in the first place? She may have expressed her feelings to Kane, only to have him reject her. Kane appears to be a wonderful person, so he may have ignored any awkwardness and continued his relationship with Amanda as an employee and friend. But what if Amanda is upset that Kane has never responded to her advances? Perhaps she is still furious towards Lily as a result of Devin Hamilton Winter's affair and cannot understand why Kane is still interested in his ex-wife. In actuality, stabbing Damian was not part of Amanda's plan, but knowing that it would harm Lily in the long run may have provided her with some gratification. Most fans believe Kane's faithful assistant, Carter, is responsible for Damian's death, but nothing excites YNR more than a narrative twist. The Young and the Restless spoilers remind fans that when it comes to whodunit storylines, it's always the last person anyone suspects, and Amanda could be the culprit for a variety of reasons, including her exclusive access to Kane's bourbon collection and her intimate knowledge of the maze. The train rattled along the tracks, the rhythmic clatter of wheels against steel a constant hum in the background as Nick shifted uncomfortably in his narrow sleeping berth. The compartment was small, barely enough room to stretch out, and the dim overhead light flickered intermittently, casting eerie shadows across the walls. He had boarded the Transcontinental Express in Chicago, bound for San Francisco, a journey he had been looking forward to for weeks, a chance to escape the dreary routine of his life, if only for a few days. But now, as he lay there, the excitement had long since faded, replaced by an uneasy tension that had been building since dinner. Something was off. The other passengers seemed normal enough, an elderly couple in the next compartment, a businessman who barely looked up from his papers, a young woman traveling alone, but there was an undercurrent of tension in the air, a sense that something was being left unsaid. Nick had always considered himself perceptive, the kind of person who noticed details others overlooked, and right now, his instincts were screaming at him. He sat up, rubbing his temples, and glanced at his watch. It was just past midnight. The train would not arrive in San Francisco until morning, and sleep was proving impossible. With a sigh, he swung his legs over the side of the berth and reached for his suitcase, thinking he might as well read for a while to pass the time. His fingers brushed against the cold metal latch, and as he lifted the lid, his breath caught in his throat. Nestled between his neatly folded clothes was an object that most certainly did not belong to him, a sleek, silver-handled knife, its blade dark with what looked like dried blood. Nick recoiled, his heart pounding so loudly he was sure it could be heard in the next compartment. His first thought was that he was being framed. But by whom? And for what? He had spoken to hardly anyone since boarding, keeping mostly to himself. The knife was unmistakably a murder weapon, and the fact that it was hidden in his belongings could only mean one thing: someone wanted him to take the fall for a crime he didn't commit. His mind raced, trying to recall every interaction he'd had since stepping onto the train. The porter who had taken his ticket, had he been too friendly? The woman in the dining car who had smiled at him, was it a calculated gesture? The businessman who had bumped into him in the corridor, had it been deliberate? Every passing second felt like an eternity as he weighed his options. He could report the knife to the conductor, but what if they didn't believe him? What if the real killer was counting on him to do just that, setting him up as the obvious suspect? The train lurched suddenly, sending Nick stumbling forward, his hands gripping the edge of the berth to steady himself. Outside, the landscape rushed by in a blur of darkness, the occasional flicker of distant lights the only indication that the world beyond the train still existed. He needed to think, to act quickly, but panic was clouding his judgment. He carefully lifted the knife with the edge of his shirt, avoiding direct contact, and examined it more closely. The blood was old, crusted along the blade, and the handle was engraved with initials he didn't recognize. This wasn't just any knife, it was someone's personal possession, something that could be traced. But how had it ended up in his suitcase? He had locked it before leaving his compartment to eat, or at least he thought he had. Had someone picked the lock? Or had he been careless, leaving it unsecured long enough for the killer to slip the weapon inside? The thought sent a chill down his spine. He was being hunted, toyed with, and he had no idea who was behind it. A soft knock at the compartment door made him jump, his grip tightening around the knife before he quickly shoved it beneath the pillow. "Who is it?" he called, his voice tighter than he intended. "It's me, Mr. Henderson," came the muffled reply. The elderly man from the next compartment. "Everything all right in there?" Heard a bit of a thump. Nick forced a calm he didn't feel. "Yes, just fine, thank you." The train jolted, caught me off guard. "Ah, right you are. These old tracks can be unpredictable." "Well, good night then." Nick waited until the footsteps receded before exhaling sharply. He couldn't stay here. If the killer had planted the knife in his belongings, they might already be setting the next stage of their plan into motion. He needed to find out who was behind this before it was too late. Carefully, he wrapped the knife in a handkerchief and tucked it into his jacket pocket. Stepping into the corridor, he glanced both ways, ensuring no one was watching, before moving silently toward the dining car. At this hour, it would be empty, giving him a chance to think without fear of being overheard. The dining car was dimly lit, the tables cleared and chairs upturned for the night. Nick slid into a booth near the back, his fingers drumming nervously against the tabletop. He needed a plan. The first step was to figure out if a murder had even been committed. Had someone on the train been killed, or was this part of some elaborate scheme unrelated to the passengers? His thoughts were interrupted by the sound of the door at the far end of the car sliding open. The young woman from earlier, the one traveling alone, stepped inside, her eyes widening slightly when she saw him. "Oh," she said, hesitating. "I didn't think anyone would be in here at this hour." Nick studied her carefully. She was pretty, with sharp features and an air of quiet confidence, but there was something guarded in her expression. "Couldn't sleep," he replied, forcing a casual tone. "You?" She shrugged, moving to sit at a table across from him. "Same. Trains always make me restless." There was a pause, heavy with unspoken questions. Nick considered his next words carefully. "You traveling far?" "San Francisco," she said. "You?" "Same." He hesitated, then decided to take a risk. "Listen, this might sound strange, but have you noticed anything unusual about this trip?" Her gaze sharpened. "Unusual how?" He lowered his voice. "I think something might be wrong. Really wrong." For a long moment, she just looked at him, as if weighing whether to trust him. Then, slowly, she reached into her bag and pulled out a folded newspaper, sliding it across the table. "You mean like this?" Nick unfolded it, his stomach dropping as he read the headline, "Businessman Missing, Feared Dead, Last Seen Boarding Transcontinental Express." The article detailed the disappearance of a wealthy financier, a man who had been traveling on this very train 2 nights ago. According to the report, the man had vanished without a trace, and authorities suspected foul play. Nick's hands trembled as he looked up. "You think he was murdered?" The woman's expression was grim. "I don't think. I know." She leaned closer. "Because I'm his daughter. And I'm on this train to find out who killed him." The pieces were falling into place, but the danger was only beginning. Nick reached into his pocket, carefully revealing the knife. "Then I think I just found the murder weapon." Her eyes locked onto the blade, a mix of horror and determination flashing across her face. "Where did you get that?" "Someone put it in my suitcase," Nick said. "Which means whoever killed your father is still on this train, and they're trying to frame me." Dumas Estate Gardens. Phyllis runs to aid Kane with Damian. Kane claims it is ineffective. He checks his heartbeat. Damian has died. Phyllis is in disbelief and wants to know what happened. Phyllis. Kane checks for a pulse but cannot locate one. Phyllis wants to try CPR because she was able to save her life. Kane points out that Sharon did not have a knife stabbed into her back. He claims there are no phones and no way to get aid. Kane, Damian, and Phyllis. Phyllis carefully backs away, reminding Kane that she vowed to aid him. Kane suggests that Phyllis thinks he killed Kane. Phyllis points out the obvious: it's just him, Damian, and a dagger. Phyllis, Kane, and Damian. Kane describes how they were having a civil drink. Phyllis finds that difficult to believe. Kane says Lily made her decision, and he had to respect it. Phyllis claims the knife says otherwise. Kane informs her that they both became lightheaded after drinking the bourbon, and he did not poison it. Kane. Phyllis says that Damian did not deserve this and observes that Kane is not woozy. According to Kane, Damian drank more than he did, and holding a dead guy surprised him. Neither of them noticed any indication of who might have done this. Kane is positive no one was in the garden and believes the knife was thrown. Phyllis understands that this requires a high level of skill. She can't make sense of anything and claims that Kane is the only one present who wants Damian dead. Kane claims he never wanted that. He asks whether Damian was the intended victim. Kane says he has to find Chance and rushes away. Phyllis departs shortly afterward. Damian's lifeless body rests alone on the garden floor. Damian. Dumas Estate Gardens Center Court. Lily rejoins Amanda after being unable to find Damian. Amanda suggests Damian is still with Kane. She encourages Lily not to worry since she knows Damian can handle himself. Lily has no idea who this Dumas version of Kane is. Amanda thinks Kane is handling everything like a gentleman. She explains how Lily thrust her relationship with Damian in Kane's face. Amanda and Lily. Lily disagrees. Amanda insists that Kane received the message loudly and clearly. Lily remains perplexed as to what the two men may still be discussing. Amanda reveals she was first skeptical about Lily's feelings for Damian. She expresses happiness for Lily. Lily has no idea what the future holds, but she doesn't want Kane to meddle. Amanda hopes she can help keep Kane from interfering with their relationship. She informs Lily that she is at the center of all Kane's decisions, and he is deeply in love with her. She implies that he will go to any length to get back the lady he loves. Lily. Lily is unsure about what she should believe. Amanda says she feels Kane really wants her to be happy, but he will never forget their love or past. She points out that Kane likes a challenge. Lily believes Kane will never be able to win her back. Amanda. Amanda wants Kane and Lily to be happy. She tells Lily about a photo of her that Kane keeps in a drawer in his office. She is confident that Kane is willing to make apologies and do whatever it takes. Lily believes they should both live separate lives. Amanda says that it will be difficult because Kane is returning to Genoa City. Lily claims she is capable of handling Kane on her own. Amanda and Lily. The Dumas Express. Devin and Abby sip drinks in the bar car. Chance joins them, and everyone agrees they're ready to go home. Train car. Abby doesn't understand why they're still there and insists the party has ended. Chance has been unable to locate any evidence to substantiate that Kane's life is in jeopardy. Devin thinks Kane's money has made him paranoid. Chance and Devin. Chance believes Devin may be correct. Devin gets bored of the games and mazes. Chance has liked the vacation, but he misses Dominic. Abby is ready to depart, claiming that Victor is fed up with the situation. Chance points out that Kane appears less anxious than the rest of them. Devin feels sorry for Amy and understands how scared she must be. Devin and Abigail. Kane and Phyllis rush inside. Kane wants to know where Amanda is. Devin claims Amanda is with Lily. Abby wants to know what is wrong. Kane and Phyllis. Kane states that he must speak with Amanda immediately. Devin now has questions. Kane and Chance leave to talk alone. Kane and Chance. Devin and Abby are confused. Phyllis glances away and remains silent. Devin and Abby are curious about the look Kane gave her and what is going on. Phyllis. Phyllis wants a drink and asks for a minute. Devin and Abby demand specifics. Phyllis orders them to back off. Abby can tell that Phyllis is upset. Phyllis grabs her drink and walks away. Devin and Abby are left to wonder what all the fuss is about. Dumas Estate Gardens. Kane guides Chance to Damian's body. Chance confirms Damian's death. Kane discovers that the dagger is missing. Chance directs Kane to provide him with all relevant information as soon as possible. Kane tells him how he asked Damian to join him for a conversation. Kane, Chance, and Damian. Chance wants to know what the discussion was about, but Kane does not see how it is significant. He grudgingly admits that the conversation was about giving Damian and Lily his blessing. Chance wonders if this was a pleasant conversation. Kane maintains it was, and they had mutual respect. He informs Chance about the wooziness and the dagger incident. He mentions that Phyllis has entered and proposes that Chance speak with her. Kane instructs Chance to solve this because the dagger was intended for him. Chance wonders where the dagger is now. He suggests that the bottle of bourbon was drugged but not poisoned. Chance, Damian, and Kane. Kane claims the bottle was from his personal stash, and guests do not have access to it. They look around and notice that the bottle and glasses are also gone. Chance wants to know if Kane has touched the weapon. Kane promises he didn't. Chance takes pictures using his cell phone. Kane informs Chance that the dagger was an antique and belonged to him. Chance. Chance remembers viewing the show in the club car. He wishes to contact the local authorities. Kane insists that it will not happen. He says the celebration is finished and they will follow protocol. Kane hands him a freezer and tells Chance to solve it. He offers Chance $500,000 to work as his private investigator. Dumas Estate Gardens Center Court. Devin and Abby run in, asking whether they have seen Chance and Kane. Lily believes Kane is with Damian and wants to know what's happening. Abby and Devin wish they knew. Lily and Abby wonder whether anything has happened in response to Kane's worries that someone is trying to kill him. Lily. CBS. They all thought it was a game until now. Amanda hurries off to find Kane. Lily wishes she could find Damian. Devin wants to know why Kane wanted to talk to Damian. Lily dodges the question and returns to the subject of Kane's concern for his life. Abby promises that Kane seems disturbed but not wounded. Devin and Abby claim that Phyllis is a wreck who is undoubtedly hiding something. Lily dislikes the sound of that and dashes into the maze. Devin, Abigail, and Lily. Dumas Estate Garden Maze. Phyllis runs into Nick and wants to discuss.